And later, the opposition has some comments on the rumors of an early election. Eyewitness News starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janelle Longley. Thanks for joining us. Off the top tonight, a man was shot and killed overnight, marking the 31st murder for the year. The incident taking place near All Saints Way in the Excellence Estates community. According to police, the victim was ambushed by a gunman, resulting in his death. Police press liaison Chief Superintendent Sharia King provided these details on scene.
Shortly after 9 this evening, a caller contacted police control room in reference to a shooting in the area of All Saints Way off Golden Isles. Our investigators came on scene and they started their probing into this matter. What we have learned from our preliminary investigation is that the victim was seated in the yard of an establishment in this area. Two males, masked, on a moped pulled up. One of those males came off the moped and opened fire on the victim, fatally wounding this male, who appears to be in his 40s. It appears to be a motor shop, yes.
Authorities say they are exploring all avenues as they work to gather evidence related to this case. They're also appealing to those who may have information on this latest murder.
We will look into all of those to assist us, all those resources to assist us in investigating in our investigation. We're asking anyone with any information into this matter to please contact the police so that they can assist us in this investigation.
Also in news from the Crime Beat, police in Grand Bahama are investigating an armed robbery that occurred late Thursday night at a business on East Sunrise Highway. According to initial reports, the incident happened around 11:30 p.m. on May 8th. Police say an unknown assailant dressed in a gray hooded sweater and armed with a firearm approached an employee and demanded cash. The suspect stole an undisclosed amount of money before fleeing the scene on foot in an unknown direction. No injuries were reported and the investigation remains active. On to other news. Amid the growing issue of crime in the Bahamas, Prime Minister Philip Davis says U.S. officials are still honoring the previous Biden-Harris initiative to combat illegal firearm trafficking on our shores. Back in June of 2023, then U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris promised a dedicated position in the U.S. Department of Justice to prosecuting cases connected to gun trafficking in the Caribbean region, noting the role coordination for Caribbean firearms prosecutions. Here's how Davis says that position is slowly assisting with seizing gun violence.
The one result that came out of the meeting we had with Kamala Harris is that they have now sort of made it a federal offense for what they call straw purchases of weapons. One of the things we have pointed out that our own police force have been able to say, and I was able to say to the authorities, that the guns are be able to trace the guns back to the gun shops where they were sold. The gun shops are able to identify the purchaser, and in some instances that one purchaser would have acquired sometimes up to 30 and 40 guns. And so they have now made it an offense for what they call straw purchases of guns, people buying guns on behalf of others. Now, we'd want them to go further, and it's one of the things I indicated to in the meeting.
Just 2 years after the position was created, the nation's chief says they are taking it even further with investigative tracking, and the dialogue is still ongoing.
That perhaps they need to go further, that if they're able to discover a purchaser of guns, and one of those guns are found in the Bahamas being used in an offense, that purchaser ought to be made to account for the rest of the guns they would have bought, because there has to be some inference or some presumption that that person may be specifically a straw purchaser and or just a trafficker buying guns for the purposes of export illegally to countries in the Caribbean. And that is something that's being taken under advisement as well. That's to strengthen the laws in the United States for that purposes. This is an ongoing discussion because whenever it is a serious issue, both for the United States and the Caribbean, and we will continue to work and collaborate together to see how we could suppress the trafficking of guns.
Still talking international relations, the Chinese embassy firing back condemning comments made by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who warned Caribbean leaders, including those from the Bahamas, against deepening their ties with China. Rubio, during a high-level meeting in Washington, D.C., urged regional heads to be responsible and transparent in selecting vendors for infrastructure projects, warning of what he called malign actors like the Chinese Communist Party. But China isn't taking that lying down, the embassy labeling the remarks as an ideologically based attack meant to smear China's relationship with the region. A spokesperson stating, quote, China's cooperation with Caribbean countries has always adhered to the principles of equality, mutual benefit, and win-win outcomes, delivering tangible results. The embassy defending Chinese invested projects like ports and other developments, saying they help drive local growth and create jobs. And in response to Rubio's claims of security threats, Beijing making clear countries like the Bahamas are wise and capable of deciding who they partner with. The statement goes even further, accusing the U.S. of pushing an outdated Cold War mentality and warning that the Caribbean is not the sphere of influence of any nation. For more on this statement, log on to our website at ewnews.com. In other news, the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, formerly the Department of Statistics, has released its 2024 Advanced Estimates of Gross Domestic Product, providing a snapshot of the nation's economic performance over the past year. Our Delano Roker has more on this.
The latest data for the Bahamas National Statistical Institute shows the economy continued its upward momentum in 2024. The GDP grew by 3.7% in nominal terms, that's not adjusted for inflation, and 3.4% in real terms, which accounts for inflation. These figures are derived from both the production and expenditure approaches, measuring industry output and total spending, for a holistic view of economic performance. Tara Newbold, officer in charge of national accounts, says both local and foreign economic activity were factored into the report. The total value of goods and services produced in 2024 was estimated at $15.8 billion in nominal terms and $14.1 billion in real terms, marking a major step in the nation's recovery post-Dorian and the pandemic.
Yes, there is growth within the economy, and it is shown by the amount of spending within the economy by residents, households, as well as visitors.
Deputy Director Clarice Turnquest broke down the difference between nominal and real GDP.
Nominal growth is goods at today's prices. So if you purchase a loaf of bread today and you pay $5 for it, if that's the price that's marked in the GDP. Real growth, then, we have a CPI that measures the increase in price. It comes up with an index. That index measures the inflation rate, let's say, on the loaf of bread. When we remove that inflation from the loaf of bread, then you get the real value for that bread. And that is the difference. It measures the real value that's added to the economy once you remove the increases that naturally happen from increasing prices.
She adds that while the Institute doesn't project future growth, it will continue to track key economic trends.
In terms of how it would bode well in the future, we do not necessarily make predictions in terms of the numbers. As Ms. Newell explained, the inflation, as is measured by the by the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, measures the increase in prices over time. Those increases are applied to the current value, the market value of the goods. That's what gives us the real growth. And so in terms of how that's going to affect, it just depends on prices over time. But the consumers will continue. We have to continue and function in the market. And so everything should continue to progress.
Newbold says the results closely mirror assessments made by the central bank.
In terms of production approach, the wholesale and retail sectors showed the largest increase, but there were other sectors that showed substantial increases. The construction was second.
The data points to a resilient economy driven by strong domestic demand and industry growth. The full GDP report, including both nominal and real data, will be available on the BNSI's official website. Galana Roker, Eyewitness News.
The opposition Free National Movement is on alert and ready for what they believe could be an early general election, as the party's leader, Michael Pintard, suggests recent moves made by the governing Progressive Liberal Party point to an earlier than expected trip to the polls. Our Linton Ritchie Jr. has more in this report.
Is an early election on the horizon? Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard says he's not ruling it out. The opposition leader says he's sold on the possibility that Prime Minister Philip Davis could take a page out of former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis's playbook and ring the bell for an early general election. Now, while PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell shut down that claim as recently as Thursday evening, Pintard says he and his F&M caucus remains on high alert.
We are making ready to put forward a robust group of candidates that the public will have confidence in.
With the political groundwork already being laid, Pintard says the F&M is preparing to release its action plan, one he claims is packed with solutions to the country's most pressing issues.
Education, cost of living, the high level of crime, and the challenges in healthcare are four of the top issues that have concern to Bahamians.
But while the rhetoric ramps up, the F&M has yet to release an official slate of candidates. Still, a number of hopefuls have already declared their intent to seek nomination. And here's what we know so far. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis will not be the party's pick for the Killarney constituency, but he's not bowing out just yet. Despite that revelation, Minnis made it clear he still hopes to represent Killarney. Whether that's an independent or under a different banner, he didn't say. As for when the public can expect a final list of F&M candidates, Pintard says,
"We will keep you posted."
Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Meantime, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell says the governing party is hoping the electorate grants them a second term in office as the work underway needs to continue. His comments follow claims by opposition Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard that the PLP is focused on re-election rather than completing their mandate set out in the blueprint for change.
He is clever at turning a phrase. He is, after all, an actor, a comedian, a writer. So I'm not surprised that he would be trying to come up with some clever slogan or some clever expression. The fact is, there are 15 months, 16 months, 17 months left to go on the term. There's work which has to be completed. We're going about doing that work, and when the election is called, we will go to the Bahamian public and say, this is what we've accomplished. We need more time to do whatever is left to be accomplished, and we believe that the Bahamian public, in their wisdom, will choose to continue the stable governance which they've had over the last 4 years.
While commenting on the Progressive Liberal Party performance, Pintard emphasized that from his view, the Constitution should be adjusted to create a fixed general election date. And to that, Mitchell questions the timing of Pintard's suggestion.
Well, it's always interesting when those who are apostates get religion. So once they're in a position of they're outside of power, they have all kinds of solutions to problems which, when they were there, they could have solved. In order to change to fixed dates of elections, you need to have constitutional reform. At this point, no one is contemplating going back to the country with a referendum on any issues of that nature. And so fixed dates of election, while sounds nice and all the rest of it, within the present system, it's not possible.
Well, after serving for the past 5 years as Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Dr. Raymond King has bid his farewell, bringing to an end nearly 4 decades of service to the military agency. Dr. King was appointed as head of the Defense Force under the previous Minnis-led administration in 2020. Since then, his tenure was marked by unprecedented challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic and unprecedented levels of unlawful migration. However, officials sung King's praises as one who stood the test of time. The former Commodore says it has been quite the pleasure serving his country in that capacity.
My purpose then, as it is now, was to defend and protect the sovereignty of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, a duty I have upheld with distinction for the past 38 years. As I exit the highest office in this distinguished military, I do so with a sense of pride in the work we have accomplished together. Concerted efforts were placed on my part to exemplify leadership qualities characterized by professionalism, integrity, and fairness, and a legacy of transformative leadership and progressive change, which will likely be defined by pundits as either the people's Commodore, a faithful steward, or simply as a servant of the people. Concluding, as I take my leave, I do so in knowing that I would be handing over this prestigious organization to capable hands.
Among the dignitaries present for the change in command ceremony was Prime Minister Philip Davis, who says Dr. King's leadership has been stellar as he navigated the military agency through crises, while also championing the rights of the force's members.
Today, we pay tribute to Commodore Raymond King, a man who, over the course of his command, faced circumstances no leader would have chosen. The aftermath of Hurricane Dorian, the shock of a global pandemic, and a growing tide of transnational crime in our region. In quieter times, a commander may be able to plan carefully, on methodically. Commodore King had no such luxury. He had to act decisively, practically, with limited resources and under pressure. And he did so with clarity, intelligence, and restraint. He crafted a maritime security strategy that made sense, clear in its goals, coherent in its logic, and effective in its results.
Meanwhile, officials say yesterday's change in command ceremony will go down in the history books, and that's partly because of a unique promotion that marked a defining moment in the law enforcement agency, one that suggests that gender is no longer a barrier when it comes to the force's leadership. Our Jose Atian takes it from here.
Over 3 decades ago, Natasha Miller embarked on a military career in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, not knowing that years later she would make history as the organization's first deputy commander.
This position has come with lots of commitment, dedication, and hard work.
Her historic promotion was revealed during an official transition of leadership in the Defense Force, a move that now places 2 deputies under Commodore Floyd Moxey's rule.
I am more than prepared to carry out this role.
Now, while she takes pride in being the first woman to sit around the executive table, she admits that there are other women before her who could have broken the ceiling.
There were great women before me who could have arisen to this rank or even a higher rank, but they were just not given the opportunity. But I am happy today that I am here, and it has opened the door for other women in this organization.
Nonetheless, better late than never, and Prime Minister Philip Davis believes Miller has what it takes to lead on that level.
It is not simply about gender or precedent. It is about the evolution of an institution. And it's an institution that now recognizes fully and finally that talent and leadership are not limited to gender.
Here's what's going to be central to her role as deputy commander.
We have a lack of discipline. Discipline is my key area, and with discipline, everything will fall in line.
Miller's appointment comes months after veteran policewoman Shanta Knowles also made history as the country's first female police commissioner. Both women have a unique story to tell as to how they got to where they are now, and Miller is offering critical advice to other aspiring women in law enforcement.
They need to be committed, they need to have integrity, and they need to have great leadership. If you have all of that, there will be no doubt that persons will be led to follow in your footsteps. And I encourage all of them because the sky is the limit.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, a wave of promotions are also expected for public servants within the Department of Immigration soon. That reveal coming from Minister of Immigration Alfred Sayers, who says those in various ranks are expected to soon carry a new badge of honor. Sayers asserted that it's been years since those working within the sector have received a promotion, and it's long overdue.
For the past 5+ years, there have not been any systematic promotion, and we are now engaged in a promotion exercise covering every rank. That is trainee immigration officers right up to the rank of superintendents.
Sayers says from his perspective, immigration workers have remained patient while executing their roles effectively and are more than deserving of new posts.
So that process is underway, and I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to the Department of Immigration and also to the ministry for working very aggressively last year to get before the Department of Public Personnel and the Public Service Commission up to over 600 applications for promotion.
Well, residents of the Berry Islands are raising concerns over long-standing infrastructure challenges and limited emergency resources following a recent fire that highlighted the community's lack of basic equipment and governmental support. Layla Sands has more on this.
Calls for better emergency response are echoing through the Berry Islands after recent fires left residents scrambling, reportedly without support. Locals say the issue goes far beyond firefighting, claiming years of government neglect. Bullocks Harbor resident Erica Knowles says when fires break out, the response often comes down to community effort, with residents using what they have on hand to control flames. Residents say they're left to battle fires with limited tools and little official support.
No, it's always just manpower. Best you could do. Everybody grab a bucket, a hose, or whatever.
Knowles says the island's lack of firefighting infrastructure has been a long-standing issue. Without proper equipment or trained personnel, she says residents are being left exposed every time emergency strikes. She's calling on the government to prioritize basic emergency response for small communities like hers.
The government just needs to aid. They just need to do what they're supposed to do. There's no reason that in 2025 every single island doesn't have a fire truck with trained personnel to run it. Because, I mean, it's like we go happy, go lucky, and then something happens and we hope and pray that nothing serious happens. I mean, the way that fire happened, that could have potentially wiped out that entire, that could have been total devastation. And this is not the first time we've had a fire, nor will it be the last time.
Berry Islands District Council member Norman Bastian echoed those concerns, saying residents aren't just under-resourced, they feel forgotten. Bastian pointed to just 2 miles of road paved in 2 years, a dump site left unmanaged for over a decade, and a 20-year wait for a government social worker.
So there's so many things that needs to be addressed, and we have no confidence that the government, whether it's BFM or PLP, is prepared to do anything for us.
Calls to the area MP for a response to the issues of residents went unanswered up to news time. Layla Sands, Eyewitness News.
Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Eye on News hotline at 397-6397. We are also inviting you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms at eyewitnessnewsbahamas@gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We are just getting started in Eyewitness News, but when we come back, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fred Mitchell, fires back at the U.S. report on Cuban medic hiring claims. We've got that story coming up. And later, ORG is launching an initiative to promote the Freedom of Information Act ahead of the budget debate. We've got more on that as well right after this break.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Celebrate the incredible women in your life this Mother's Day, and don't forget the special offer from Cornet Bahamas. From April 16th to May 16th, enjoy a fantastic 35% off store-wide. That's right, everything you need to show your love and appreciation is on sale. Whether it's a heartfelt gift for mom, a treat for yourself, or something special for that amazing woman in your life, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit any one of our stores today. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable with Cornet Bahamas.
Rejuvenate, refresh, treat yourself. Immerse yourself in total comfort. Pamper yourself. After all, you're worth it. Relax. Rid yourself of all life's stresses. At Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa, you will find everything you need to enhance your body and spirit. Call today at 323-6711 and begin your journey to serenity at Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors. It's your last chance to get behind the wheel and drive the evolution. Secure the Toyota BZ4X, Mercedes-Benz EQB 260, Carry Cargo Van, or Carry Elephant X7 truck with prices starting as low as $309.88 per month. Hurry before they're gone. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. Gas at Esso gas station, $5.43 a gallon. Rubis gas station, $5.55 a gallon, the highest this week. And the Shell gas station, $5.46. Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell is denouncing claims made in a U.S. daily regarding the Bahamas' hiring of Cuban doctors and nurses. The articles in question were written in the Miami Herald on May 5th and May 8th and suggest that the Bahamas has been engaging in unfair tactics. Mitchell said he's not standing for the misleading portrayal of the Bahamas.
Reporting a tendentious story based on purloined documents which seemed by its timing and content, the stories, to deliberately place the Bahamas in a position opposite or adverse to the United States. I congratulated the reporter for a good hatchet job. This is over the untested allegations that somehow by hiring Cuban medical practitioners and professionals and teachers in the Bahamas, we are violating international labor norms, which we are not. In my experience, it looked like a setup. For example, if you wanted to know what the British position would be on any matter involving the Commonwealth, the day before the meeting, the BBC would start running stories which would advance the British position. The reporter didn't like my comment and insisted that she had given me an opportunity to respond to the article before she published it. But I'm too old a cat to be pinned to the mat by such a kitten. I have no obligation to help feed nonsense. The press is, of course, free to publish what they want. I made the same point to the Tribune when they ran the same story based on those purloined documents.
Mitchell also expressed concerns that such articles could place government officials' lives and travel obligations in jeopardy.
Both stories admitted that they could not vouch for the authenticity of the documents but they were relying on, but they published them anyway. Again, that's fine, but given that the ability of ministers of the Bahamas government to travel to the United States and therefore around the world was being threatened by U.S. authorities, whose visa decisions are subjective, why would a responsible press help to precipitate such a result on untested material? It is shameful just to sell newspapers, and it did not advance in any way the public interest, nor the tenor of the meetings. And even if you did not care about the effect on the ministers themselves, who are public figures, by this irresponsible reporting, you also put at risk the families of those officials, because the U.S. are targeting them as well. And these families have nothing to do with the acts or omissions of their family members who are ministers. But you know, the Miami Herald cares not a whit about that. The prejudice, the context of selling newspapers in a parochial atmosphere that decries the present Cuban government at any cost and gives no quarter, that colors what the Miami Herald does. My position is that the Bahamas should insist on the truth, on respect in international relations, and demand a right to be treated and reported upon fairly and rationally.
Employment in the Bahamas is no longer a reliable indicator of financial stability. That's the position of Executive Director of the Government and Public Policy Institute, Shavargo Lang, who says that while many Bahamians are working, they're still unable to keep up with the true cost of living. Lang spoke following renewed attention on the Institute's report titled, "How Much Does It Cost to Be Middle Class in the Bahamas?" a follow-up to its earlier living wages report.
They have to have a values system that is capable of living functionally in a society. They have to have the kind of emotional intelligence that allows them to manage their own feelings and behavior properly and interact with other people in an appropriate way. And so that often requires sound nurturing in a family environment, a good education, and also work on their part for personal growth. In addition to that, they need to have the means to pursue their ambitions, achieving an education that is commensurate with that ambition. And then there needs to be available in the society opportunities commensurate with their training, with their development. And so in that kind of holistic environment, people tend to fare better and to live more stable lives.
Lang also highlighted the urgent need to address the economic challenges facing those struggling to meet basic necessities and achieve stability.
For many of the people who are not achieving that, many things are required, whether that involves better parenting, better schooling to address certain peculiar circumstances that some students face. It means a more robust, dynamic economy spread across the islands, and it might mean some civic engagement that allows people to develop better skills and attitudes toward national life.
The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce is setting up for a series of events designed to engage both members and non-members alike with opportunities to network. CEO of the BCCEC, Leo Roll, shares some of the details for the upcoming golf tournament and Royal Caribbean brunch.
So the Chamber is very big on events, and one of the events that we have is an annual golf tournament that will happen on June 8th. And a part of the proceeds always goes to a charity. Last year, we helped the Crisis Center. This year, we are helping Family of All Murdered Victims, which is FOAM, through its principal, Candy Gibson. And so a part of the proceeds will go to that. It's a two-man scramble. We have Easy Car Sales that have graciously participated in giving us the hole-in-one 2025 BYD song as the grand prize. And so for the hole-in-one. And so we're looking for all opportunities and avenues. We also have what we would consider the Royal Caribbean brunch. So Royal Caribbean has been a great partner of the Chamber. And last year we had one brunch. We've traditionally had one brunch. This year they've graciously agreed to give us two. So the first one is going to be on May 27th. The prices remains the same, $110 for non-members, $82.50 for members. And it provides you with an opportunity to, one, rub shoulders with those persons from the Royal Caribbean team. You get to have a 5-course meal with them. You get a ship tour. You also get to hear what updates are happening with the beach club.
Roll also says the Chamber is prepping for the upcoming trade show set to take place this November. The trade show intends to offer businesses the opportunity to show their services and a chance for attendees to explore the latest trends and innovations.
So while we will still have that same local business feel, where we have local businesses who have an opportunity to sell their goods and services on site, we want to have an international section. And why this is important is because, as you've seen, we've been very, very strategic about trade missions, whether they be outbound or inbound. And so why not have an international section where you may have some companies from Canada, you may have some companies from Africa, you may have some companies from India who are there on the ground and able to sell or even advertise their goods and services. And so it helps because now you have this international feel. We also have a team that's coming in from Haiti, and so there may even be a section for them. And so that we are looking at November 4, but that's a part of our chamber events as we continue to grow and progress.
As the nation prepares for the upcoming budget debate, the Organization for Responsible Governance has launched a new initiative to empower Bahamian citizens to advocate for the full implementation of the Freedom of Information Act. This effort is part of ORG's ongoing mission to educate the public on important national issues and to help citizens engage more effectively with government officials.
We know that the national budget is being finalized for debate in a very short time. And so this is a critical opportunity to push for full funding and full implementation of the Freedom of Information Act. It's not really just about paperwork or catching government doing bad stuff. It's about fairness. It's about equity. It's about how decisions are being made and how they're going to affect you and your community, about how public funds are being spent to your interests, and ultimately how things like the environment and the resources are being managed. So we want to really respond to that. And we did so by launching what we call our Freedom of Information Resource Hub.
ORG's new resource hub for the Freedom of Information Act offers a crucial online platform designed to inform and empower citizens. The hub provides access to essential tools and resources, ensuring Bahamians have the information they need to fully engage in the democratic process.
You'll go ahead and look through the tool, and it allows you to personalize it and talk about why you think freedom of information is so crucial. It provides email contacts to your member of parliament, and then you'll get back a letter as well as the email, and you can send it from your own email. We do want folks to CC us at citizens@org Bahamas to make sure that we can track who's sending out what and really show the power of collective action. But this is a critical opportunity, and we really see the importance of citizen engagement with governments because it builds that two-way social contract that really is key to a strong and representative and inclusive democracy. So we want folks to get informed and get involved, and this is a really key way to do that. So please check out the hub on orgbahamas.com and send that letter on to your minister or your member of parliament to encourage that freedom of information gets full funding in this budget and that it's prioritized in the legislative agenda so that Bahamians can utilize this right, which has been theirs since 2017.
All right, and still to come in Eyewitness News, it's Nurses Month. Find out how the nurses at the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center are being treated. But first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Rejuvenate, refresh, treat yourself. Immerse yourself in total comfort. Pamper yourself. After all, you're worth it. Relax. Rid yourself of all life's stresses. At Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa, you will find everything you need to enhance your body and spirit. Call today at 323-6711 and begin your journey to serenity at Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? The Bahamas Institute of Chartered Accountants invites business owners to join us on May 15th at Margaritaville Beach Resort for an exclusive seminar on building a successful business in the small and medium-sized enterprises space. Gain practical strategies, learn from industry professionals, and connect with fellow entrepreneurs. Whether you're launching or scaling, this event is designed to equip you with tools for sustainable growth. Seats are limited, so reserve yours today and invest in the future of your business.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Keep the Bible Live Music Group presents The Legends of Breaking Spray. Get ready for the biggest names in Bahamian music live on stage. KB, Funky D, Chino D, D-Ma, Sweet Emily, Simeon Alton, Veronica Bishop, and more like the Singing Bishop. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission 80, VIP 120. Tickets available at Missouri, Bungie Brand at the Beauty Shack, both locations. Skyboxes and Skypods. Call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Or email keepthebible242@gmail.com. Saturday, May 10th. Come by boat and play and experience the legends of Break and Scrape. Brought to you by Keep the Bible Live Music Group, ESC Distributors, Missouri. The Plug, The Beauty Shack, Bahamas, Bookie Brand, and Caribbean Wines and Spirits.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
This is Eyewitness News. Welcome back. Nurses at the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center are being celebrated this week as part of Nurses Appreciation Week, an annual observance recognizing the dedication and hard work of nursing professionals across the country. Deandra Bethel, a nursing officer at the facility, emphasized the vital role nurses play in the healthcare system and the importance of supporting them through events like this.
we're here now, culminating our week of activities through our Nurses Awards and Recognition Ceremony, as you can see. And we're here to basically recognize our nurses for their outstanding, excellent contribution to the healthcare profession.
The Bahamas Nurses Union President Muriel Lightbourne, who is helping this year's appreciation activities, shared details about the week-long celebrations planned for nurses.
And so what is happening today is they have at Sandilands, we have an institution award where we award the nurses for excellence. It's a competition more or less. The nurses go through being recommended by their colleagues for each ward. And then once they are recommended by the ward, they're put into a pool with the area, and then eventually they comes out with the Institutional Nurse of the Year.
Tonight, we continue our special tribute to former Senator, TV and radio personality, and passionate advocate for justice, Rodney Monker, with closing words from his final live broadcast.
Well, we come to the end of the show. Thank you so much, everybody, for your calls. But we almost at the end of the show. Sandra, your final words?
Well, folks, I want to thank you. God is good. Please pray for me. And please pray for the physicians who shall handle my surgery. And I think it's powerful. To my darling wife, Jana, I want you to know that I continue to love you with all my heart. It's powerful. To Marcus, Louis, and Dion Delancey, I want to thank you all personally for the personal care that both men have provided me with these couple of months. So that is powerful. My spiritual advisor,
I would be with you every step of the way.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
This is powerful. And today I went into the newsroom and I became overwhelmed with emotion when the newsroom prayed for me. Wow. So it was powerful. God saved the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God saved me. God saved you. God save the King. Let there be love. There is no envy in my heart. It's powerful. Do well, everybody. If it is God's will, I shall return.
Coming up in Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller tonight, more on today's top stories. That's coming up in Beyond the Headlines that starts right after this. And from all of us here at Eyewitness News, it's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. I'm Janelle Longley, and on behalf of the entire news team, good night.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Darling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry Commercial Vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you'll need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financial financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
7.5 years, but I walk in here all of a sudden to a stranger. I'm calling you Rick and Sheila.
I win at Island Lock. We take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, 12 people are homeless on the island of Andros this Friday after their home went up in flames on Tuesday. Meanwhile, residents in the Berry Islands, too, raising concerns over fires on the island. Fires are now a major concern for every citizen on just about every island, including right here in New Providence. So tonight, the state of fire services again at the forefront. Also tonight, a little bit later in the show, the best of the best. Do you have your tickets as yet? I heard the guys talking about who they take and how they take and if they go and if we'll see. But hey, KB is here this evening. He joins me later in the show. It's all straight ahead for you this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's good to have you along this evening. An Andros family is homeless tonight. The victims, or the latest victims, of fires that have been ravaging several Family Island communities, including several communities right here in New Providence. We're going to find out more about this family on Andros, how they're managing after walking away with only the clothes on their backs. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Sandra Fowler Russell. Hello, Sandra. Thank you for joining me. It's good to have you here. I know that you are making your way back to Andros because these are your cousins who've been burnt out. So thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Pleasure to be here.
Tell me about no, go back where you've been. Just go back exactly however you were sitting just now, right there. That's it. Tell me, please, about what happened on Tuesday. I know you said about 12 people lived in that house. What happened?
Yes.
What is believed to be the reason for the fire?
We're believing that it's a generator because there's no electricity to the house. They've been using a generator for the time being.
No electricity to the house. Was anyone at home? Because I know the owner of the house was in New Providence seeking medical help.
Yes, some of the kids were home because my cousin was away to a doctor in Nassau.
Now, they weren't able to save anything, as I am told by other residents and yourself earlier, that only the clothes on their back, all 12 persons, managed to escape with. What are the ages of these people, the 12 people who lived in the house?
From 53 to 6 months.
From 53 years to 6 months old, so relatively a newborn baby as well.
Yes.
What is the state of, how are they managing? Was everyone working, the adults? I mean, was there good income coming in? How are they managing and even beginning to think about recovery right now?
Well, recovery is going to be hard because there's only 2 persons within that household is working. Actually, one has a full job and one has a part-time job. So recovery for them will be hard.
Will be hard. Now, of course, you are speaking on behalf of the family. I understand that the owner of, who is your cousin, the matriarch, already is plagued with heart conditions. How is she holding up, having to rebuild from scratch?
This is going to be very difficult for her. I spoke with her about 5 minutes ago, and she's just, like she said, giving God thanks that, none of the kids or anybody got hurt. But it's like starting all over again for her.
This is North Andros, yes? Which part of North Andros?
This is on the highway, which we consider to be a part of the main highway on San Andres Road.
Now, I made attempts to reach out to your Member of Parliament, Leonardo Lightbourne. I was unsuccessful. However, has he been in touch with the family? Have you all been able to speak with him?
I haven't spoken with him, but I think he would have reached out to my cousin.
So he's reached out to the family, to the mother and her kids?
Yes, to the mother.
Well, that's good. But how are they managing, though? I mean, it's difficult with 12 people and now trying to find room and board and clothing and just all the other things that an individual needs. How are they managing since Tuesday? By the way, Justin, if you can put that photograph or video up to see just the house is just at foundation. It totally a total loss. But go ahead.
Yes. They've been getting little assistance so far. Social service has kicked in, but it is still hard when you can think about 12 persons without anything.
Yes, nothing at all. And now these were all, it appears as though this was a mother and her 12 kids.
Yes, her kids and grandkids.
Her kids and then their kids.
Right.
We are looking right now, Sandra, on the screen. We see nothing but rubble at all. Maybe a few blocks at the foundation and that's it.
That is it. The whole house has been destroyed and they saved nothing. Shanique, if I can say something, I feel as if this situation and more situations like this can be avoided. We are crying because of lack of, I should say, fire trucks.
Yes.
2 fire trucks were donated to North Andros. 2 by private citizens. 1 got into an accident. And the other is parked for a part.
So you're trying to say 1 missing a part.
Yes.
So therefore it's inoperable. And the other got into an accident.
Right. And these were fire trucks that was donated by private citizens. So do you think, I personally feel as if the fire truck needs a part, my God, the people already donate them to the community. You're going to tell me that we can't get it fixed for a part? A part costs a family now to not have a roof that they can call home.
Or clothing. And I imagine it's
clothing,
hard.
Everything.
Every single thing. And the baby that has its needs.
Yes.
How long have those fire trucks been sitting there?
Well, they've been sitting there now for about probably 3 years. Up to Yeah, I would say 3 years.
You know, Sandra, I tell you, it's very frustrating hearing about that. I know you, like every other Bahamian, you've been watching and paying attention to all the fires that's happening and the cry for fire trucks. And just as I said, I didn't even know the story in detail until we spoke earlier today in preparation for this interview now. But I said just earlier this week, after the Bay Street fire and all the others, that I imagine it's really an issue of poor maintenance. As you said, a part that's needed just to get that one of them back on the road, and the other one obviously needs fixing with a specialty mechanic. But just to get that on the road, and there it's sitting because the part is slow in coming.
Slow in coming. I don't think the parts is coming. I don't know if they're going to do it now, but for the information that I would have gotten is simply because it is not government owned.
Because it's private.
Because it's private, but they were donated to North Andros.
And I imagine if they were working then, the police officer
did not buy us any. They were donated. And because it didn't come out of the government pocket, you shouldn't maintain it when it is a benefit for our community.
Well, it's urgent to have it. It's now very warm, and it's not even the warmest it'll get for the summer season. We see the fires, and yet we are saying because it's privately owned, do the private owners have those trucks parked in their yards?
No.
It's at the fire station, or police station, I imagine.
Yes, they have them at the administrative office. I can't remember.
Even more, local government ain't trying to go fix those fire trucks? Or bring somebody in to do it, as well as the part?
And that is something I feel as if should have been done a long time.
I agree. Again, we tried to reach out to the Member of Parliament. No doubt he probably has word from local government of exactly what should happen. I do remember recently, though, it could have been last year, where he too was fighting bushfires in North Andros. And was a part of an effort with water passing it so that it can. So obviously those trucks were no use then because they've just been sitting because of not working. Sandra,
the last fire that we had, Shanique, they had to actually bring in fire trucks from Nassau.
I remember.
When we have 2 fire trucks in North Andros that simply needs to be fixed and maintained, tell me why not? Why are we still going through what we are now going through in our community when private citizens saw the need to assist us by donating 2 fire trucks? And I don't know why.
Come on, local government. You've got to step up. Member of Parliament, you've got to get together with the community leaders, which are the local government representatives, and you all make decisions in the best interest of the island. It's necessary. I thank you very much, Sandra. Should the family need to perhaps want to get information out about maybe how to donate or anything, certainly you're welcome back to this platform. Thank you so much. I think her phone froze, but I'm happy that we got that in. She's making her way back to Andros right now. Thank you very much, Sandra. Even happy Mother's Day to that mother who tonight is wondering about where her kids are going to be. We are going to take a break because residents in Berry Islands too are having their issues as it relates to fires. They are talking about it. More after this.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
Celebrate the incredible women in your life this Mother's Day, and don't forget the special offer from Cornet Bahamas. From April 16th to May 16th, enjoy a fantastic 35% off store-wide. That's right, everything you need to show your love and appreciation is on sale. Whether it's a heartfelt gift for mom, a treat for yourself, or something special for that amazing woman in your life, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit any one of our stores today. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable with Cornet Bahamas.
Security Depot makes shopping in the Bahamas easy. Shop the latest appliances, electronics, furniture, gadgets, toys, and so much more on our website, securitydepot242.com. See an item you like? Simply click on it, move to cart, and check out with the option of in-store pickup or home delivery. Endless possibilities are at securitydepot242.com.
Do you ever just want more? But wait, there's Marco's! Introducing the More Marco's menu, packed with your favorites starting at just $6. Like our warm, golden baked cheesy bread, crispy stuffed pozole. How about a hot, fresh, medium one-topping pizza? Subs, calzones, pizza bowls, and more. Starting at just $6. Certain restrictions apply. More variety, more value, more Marco's! Order today at Marco's Pizza, Bahamas.
Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group presents The Legends of Rake Spray. Get ready for the biggest names in Bahamian music live on stage. KB, Funky D, Chino D, D-Ma, Sweet Emily, Simeon Alton, Veronica Bishop, and more like the Singing Bishop. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission 80, VIP 120. Tickets available at Missouri, Bungie Brand at the Beauty Shack, both locations. Skyboxes and Skypod. Call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Saturday, May 10th. Come by boat and play and experience the legends of Rake and Scrape. Brought to you by Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, ESC Distributors, Missouri, The Plug, The Beauty Shack, Bahamas, Bookie Brand, and Caribbean Wines and Spirits.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by the Legends of Rake and Scrape, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Continuing this evening, residents of the Berry Islands are also raising concerns over long-standing infrastructural challenges and limited emergency resources following a recent fire that highlighted the community's lack of basic equipment and governmental support. Layla Sands has the story, and then we come back and talk about it.
Calls for better emergency response are echoing through the Berry Islands after recent fires left residents scrambling, reportedly without support. Locals say the issue goes far beyond firefighting, claiming years of government neglect. Bullocks Harbor resident Erica Knowles says when fires break out, the response often comes down to community effort, with residents using what they have on hand to control flames. Residents say they're left to battle fires with limited tools and little official support.
No, it's always just manpower. Best you could do. Everybody grab a bucket, a hose, or whatever.
Knowles says the island's lack of firefighting infrastructure has been a long-standing issue. Without proper equipment or trained personnel, she says residents are being left exposed every time emergency strikes. She's calling on the government to prioritize basic emergency response for small communities like hers.
The government just needs to aid. They just need to do what they're supposed to do. There's no reason that in 2025 every single island doesn't have a fire truck with trained personnel to run it. Because, I mean, it's like we go happy-go-lucky and then something happens and we, hope and pray that nothing serious happens. I mean, the way that fire happened, that could have potentially wiped out that entire could have been total devastation. And this is not the first time we've had a fire, nor will it be the last time.
Barry Islands District Council member Norman Bastian echoed those concerns, saying residents aren't just under-resourced, they feel forgotten. Bastian pointed to just 2 miles of road paved in 2 years, a dump site left unmanaged for over a decade, and a 20-year wait for a government social worker.
So there are so many things that needs to be addressed, and we have no confidence that the government, whether it's BFNM or PLP, is prepared to do anything for us.
Calls to the area MP for a response to the issues of residents went unanswered up to news time. Leila Sands, Eyewitness News.
Well, it's quite troubling, really. Someone said to me, I think in Grand Bahama, that, Shanique, this is concerning for us. We hope that tonight, meaning this show on this evening, that you raise again the need for fire services and that are efficient on every island, because it's not even like in the peak of summer as yet, and these fires. And so we're going to go in right there this evening with the Hot Topics panelists. Please welcome to Beyond the Headlines BTH contributors Leslie Miller and Michael Turnquest. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you.
Good evening to you. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas.
Gentlemen, it is troubling. The fire is it's no one's fault, but certainly what must be in place is the response and quick response to fires. We saw in Andros what happened there. We saw, of course, the residents of the Berry Islands also speaking out. We saw just this week. We saw, of course, Bay Street. Then out west, we saw what happened there, and several other fires in southern New Providence. Your thoughts about the fact that we are vulnerable when it comes to the way we respond to a fire emergency?
Shanique, one, it goes back to, I think, accountability. Because it's sad to see that we have so many islands. We have where equipment is not available to our local residents. And also, when we do have equipment available, it's not well maintained. So it's accountability, both the government and those who are in charge of these departments. Because if you look at anywhere around the world, the U.S. specifically, right, you have a lot of these fire stations where they're having drills, they're doing maintenance, they're
ongoing.
They're up and down the streets just on a regular day-to-day practicing, making
sure that there's water in the trucks,
right,
and everything is ready.
And they're functioning. I mean, I just had a conversation the other day. I said, when the fire, I think Mr. Miller and his daughter was down in Seabreeze, and we pumped all that salt water using those trucks. I said, I wonder, did they take those trucks back to the station and actually flush those trucks out with the proper kind of solution, then get all that salt, everything sprayed, wash the truck down properly, things of that sort, in terms of making sure that when this truck is ready to use again, because we know salt water will destroy anything. Yeah. I don't care how. We see it on boats. On boats, you have to do maintenance daily. And that's why maintaining a boat is so costly. Yeah. Maintaining these trucks are costly, but requires a lot of work. You have to take that truck out, and the good part of them, they have a station where they can work inside, in the shade. So one would ask itself, who's being accountable for ensuring that these fire trucks are being properly maintained, the engines, the pumps for the water.
The parts that are needed.
Yes, I mean, and
spare parts.
And staying on top of it. It's just like the water system in Luther. There are certain parts that will go out and needs to be, and those water pumps, you need to have spare pumps on hand. We need to put competent people who know about maintenance, one, knows about operations, and making sure that, you have N+1, returns to redundancy. When something go bad, you can automatically go grab something and put a new one in place. And at that point in time, I now need to put something on order because I just used the last spare part. Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, it's sometimes, you think of it as common sense, but we have to be very careful where we're putting people in place for emergency services.
How could you say, oh, no, we didn't buy it, well, the government or local government didn't buy it, it was donated. Well, all the more to take care of it because you didn't have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in each of those trucks.
And even with I think we need the recall system for local government, because when we have people making those type of mistakes, when someone to me, I think I should take care of something, especially when someone, take care of it more when someone give something to me as a gift. You would think that I would go and shine those tires every day just to show appreciation to that individual who spent their hard working earned dollars to buy the island a fire truck. I mean, to me, it's like the sense of urgency and then maintenance, we seem to we get lazy, lackadaisical. People sitting down. I don't know what they're doing in these stations all day. But somebody needs to be held accountable. Whether we got to change the fire chief, I don't know what they're called in terms of the person who runs these stations, but something has to be done. Something has to be done, because all they need to send, hey, we've sent the memos to the government, we've requested it numerous times and we have not gotten it. Now, if you can show me that way as though you are asking for additional training, you're asking for additional equipment, but your answers are being denied, or your answers are being denied, or your questions are being denied, then please show us that. Because at the end of the day, I'd hate to be laying the blame at their feet.
Yes.
Then it's above them and they can't, it's nothing they can do.
Yes.
It is really sad and totally unacceptable. The amount of fires now that's raging throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas and just with all the islands. And this one in Andros is no exception to the rule. In fact, you have 2 MPs there on the island of Andros, on Berry Islands. But something has to change within the structure of the fire department. How could it be that you have 2 fire trucks on Andros and none working?
Two fire trucks.
How is that possible? Everybody has a responsibility. The residents have a responsibility themselves. And I know most people from Andros, some of them believe that somebody got to do everything for them.
Well, that's the mindset, Leslie, one second, that's the mindset elsewhere too, because remember when Eleuthera had those fires?
Yeah.
It was said to me after the interview, which you all give me stuff when I'm live, because it says, Shanique, listen, Eleuthera too had some fire trucks, but the people stole the parts out of them and keep keeping this and the tire and the rim and the this and that. You all have to also stand up.
Be responsible.
And be responsible for what's been gifted.
Because their house may burn. Someone may get hurt. But I think the fire department really need to step up, maybe need some changes at the top and through that middle management. Because why is it that a fire truck is not always worthy to out a fire? That's unheard of.
And we have to be sending out to the airport.
It's unheard of. It's totally unheard of.
And it's necessary that fire truck
stays there because we get an accident at the airport and the FAA will shut you down and not allow you to get into their country again.
But when last have we done a study in terms of to look at the amount of individuals in certain areas to ensure that there's efficient equipment in terms of the
fire hydrants, for example.
Exactly.
Very important.
Because in some areas we need 2 fire stations.
Friday, the fire on Bay Street last week was no fire hydrant. How's that possible? In a big area like that, there are no fire hydrants.
But then even more astonishing, 2 fire trucks. 1 damaged from the fire that happened at the new labor department, and the other
2,000 gallons of water.
Meanwhile, Abaco, go to the front of the line, because what Abaco did at the weekend, after battling fires for several days, Abaco called in. They kept fighting on the ground because they have their resources, but it was they were being
fire
beat.
Trucks they got?
Yes, but they were being. You said that 7 fire trucks, Abaco. The model of the nation. But what they did, they called in a water aircraft.
Yeah.
And it's made a tremendous difference.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we have one of those for all the family?
Shouldn't we have at least 2?
These 2 of them.
As a nation, just 2 that it can go where it needs to go?
We can look at water tankers, things of that sort. There's different things that we can whereas though we can put a solution in place for now until we put proper trucks on order. But there are water tankers and other things that we can purchase to put throughout New Providence to make available, to our so-called...
Put some moorings right on the waterfront.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that can be done in the interim.
You go and get your water.
Yeah.
It is an urgent matter. It needs urgent attention.
The fire department got to step to the plate. That's what it's all about.
They must.
They must. Step to the plate.
I mean, who is denying you all
home,
the equipment, the manpower, the skills, the new parts that you need? Who? Answer that. Answer that, fire department. Who is denying? Who is denying it?
Certainly, the government or the minister or the chairman of any corporation or any entity would give them what they request, especially a situation like fire. I think it's just negligence on the part of the fire department.
But I think even if you look at a place like New York City, the way the firefighters approach a fire in terms, they fight a fire from the inside. They go into those buildings. Yeah. We have moved away from the old days in terms of what the Bahamas used to be. We have a lot of new high-rise buildings that are going up throughout the western area. And I asked the question. I said, do you think our firefighters have the necessary training to go inside a building?
And that is why I asked about the skill set of the firefighters.
Do we have the gear in terms of oxygen?
Listen, there's a young lady approached me this week. Mrs. Hannah is her name, Miss Hannah. There's this retardant that came out a few years ago that if you spray it on you, you can walk through a fire and don't get burned. And she's tested at the airport and some places here, but she's not getting too far, I understand. Mm-hmm. She was very frustrated with the fire that took place on Elizabeth Avenue.
So what happened? People are ignoring her suggestions?
Apparently they are.
Because they know better.
Okay.
Well, Prime Minister Philip Davis is announcing that the government, in collaboration with the United States officials, are set to beef up border control operations in hopes of combating illegal firearm trafficking amid the continuous bloodshed in the Bahamas. We know of just last night there was another murder. I think it's around 32 for the year. Prime Minister Davis says during a recent meeting with the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, he expressed the crime problem in the Bahamas and the havoc it's wreaking on our communities.
The Bahamas is paying too high a price in blood, in tragedy, for the guns that come into our country. Weapons trafficked from the United States are fueling violence and threatening the safety of our communities. We are doing our part. We are protecting our borders. We are strengthening our laws. We are investing in technology and training. But enduring progress will require collaboration and cooperation with America, including enforcement, tracing, and better regulation of what leaves their ports and ends up on our streets. To their credit, U.S. officials acknowledge this reality and made a clear commitment to strengthen intelligence sharing, expand security cooperation, and provide support for border management through programs like the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative and Operation Bahamas Turks and Caicos UPBAT, which is peculiar to us in the Bahamas.
Here's Prime Minister Davis talking about, of course, the number of weapons on the street. Leslie, it was this week that you said you can rent a gun now for $50.
$50 a night.
That's just, I guess, the amount of just illegal guns that are on the street, and it's getting into the hands of younger and younger people who are, it's just troubling to see what it is. How do you all suppose that exchange with Marco Rubio as it relates to the proliferation of illegal weapons here in the Bahamas, coming obviously from the United States? How do you suppose that'll sort of pan out?
Shanique, I don't think enforcing in terms of whether it be the U.S. border, in terms of having patrols, there's a lot of the guns come into the Bahamas through numerous ways. One being through transshipments, whether it be containers,
yes.
tractors.
Yes.
We've seen many cases over and over, people putting them in tractor tires, and then you have these large luxury yachts. Whether they're coming into Bimini Bay in the back to a lot of these homes, and wherever you want to call it. But the thing is, we have a lot of those who are sometimes we just look at them and say, oh, there's no way they're doing, X, Y, and Z. Those are the very ones who, if you go down in them engine rooms or someplace and you really do the thorough inspection that our so-called customs officers or our whichever officers who are supposed to check that boat before they say you can disembark from that ship or that private yacht, if they were to do the thorough inspection of that yacht, they would find many cases where they find drugs, illegal firearms, and many other things. There's a lot of places in the Bahamas, these so-called gated communities, where everything is coming right now. It's already in our yard, our backyard. So this is what we need to address and make sure our local enforcement is doing their job before they leave any foreign vessel that come into the Bahamas.
It is a very serious problem because our borders are so porous.
Yeah.
And like Mike said, you can go one of these enclaves in this country, and the regular custom officer, many of them on immigration, won't dare to really go on those ships. You got these state of the art big ship. You figure this is a very rich, wealthy person. They may know somebody and make a call, and you get in trouble. So you just let them pass through. The problem is maybe the police now need to come with an amnesty again to try to get those weapons off the street and maybe up it more, give them more money to bring in those weapons, because there's a high proliferation on just about all the blocks in New Providence, especially in that in those small communities over the hill where there's high proliferation of guns, that's available for rent.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we need to look into technology, get some scanner or something of that sort, whereas though we can pick up on this type of...
you just go through the corners
of the boat, and you just do a scan, and
There's a hell of a problem.
It's a lot of technology out there that's available to you, whereas though it's not as intrusive, where you're going and digging up somebody's vessel to find, what you may be looking for. But there's technology out there that can help you, and you just
Spot that.
Spot those type of things.
Many have been caught with the containers, eh?
Oh yeah, practice, yeah, all kind of things.
Every other week, you saw them with
Well,
containers.
gentlemen, get this. This is a different twist, and it's a good story to share tonight. The Bahamas is fast gaining a reputation of becoming the choice for elite athletes and athletic clubs seeking treatment for injuries. Just this week, roll. How about that? Seeking treatment for their injured star players. Just this week, Beyond the Headlines caught up with Ollie Lawrence. He's a star player with the rugby club from Bath, England, at Anachronist Wellness on Paradise Island. Now, we spoke after his first in a series of treatments. He is here, still here, by the way, after he suffered a recent injury during a game. Here's what he had to say.
I think it's just the main thing really is, like, I think as an athlete, you need to take care of your body, you need to take care of your lifestyle to be able to become the best. And then when you invest in the best, whether that's manual therapy, whether that's the food you eat, all the finer details in life, that's what allows you to get those extra 1%. So I definitely think over the last 2-3 years, especially for me, that's really like heightened for me in terms of my awareness of it as I've got a bit older.
Yes, now obviously you're nursing an injury and you've come all the way across the pond to the Bahamas to seek the therapy that you need and the treatment that you need at Anachronist Wellness. Why this spot?
So it's highly recommended to me from a friend that I know quite well back home. He came out here and could only speak highly of the work that was done here, and specifically with Eduardo. He got back playing and got back on the field and really contributed to us as a team back home last season. So I thought I'd take advantage of the opportunity to come over here and like I said, be with one of the best and hopefully push the boundaries to get back fit as soon as possible.
And so, gentlemen, it was really awesome meeting him. And what's happening there at Anachronist Spa, and they've been doing it, I mean, the most wealthy of the wealthy. Mm-hmm. They have sought him out. They love what he does, and the fact that he is just so gifted, meaning Eduardo Thompson, to be able to help their injuries and help them recover where they couldn't find it anywhere else. And very quietly, this is what he's been doing and pulling those people in. Now owners of clubs, especially as you all saw from the UK and Europe, and even some elite athletes in the United States, but they seek him out right there, or send for him sometimes, but mainly seek him out right there on Paradise Island to come and get their treatments and recover. Yeah. Your thoughts on this, on how right here in the Bahamas we have this gem that's just sort of really evolving?
You know, Shanique, I didn't know about the one on PI, but I know there's a new one also. It's out west somewhere as well, whereas though a lot of elite athletes come and they train and they go through a whole congamut of whether it be ice therapy and things of that sort. And I was like, I was shocked. I heard it's a state-of-the-art facility, a whole training facility out west, close to Albany, the new Albany.
I have an idea. It's all the way. All the way west. I've seen it. I've seen clips of it.
The wealthy of the wealthy goes there as well. I mean, this is there's so much that we have to offer. Whether we call it sports tourism.
Sports tourism.
In terms of because I think back in the day, I'm sure Mr. Miller would know where we used to have. I get what type of tourism used to be where people come for a lot of recovery.
Wellness centers.
Wellness centers that we had many years ago.
The Virgin Islands is big in that now. Health tourism.
Health tourism.
Where is it?
The Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands.
Okay. Most of the small countries.
We're big in health tourism.
But we look like we're catching up again. Because again, and this is not the first athlete I've heard. It's another star athlete from the United Kingdom who was just there, and he is fully recovered and back on the field playing. And here's this gentleman as well.
I need, but I don't know if I can afford it. But, I might have to seek him out and see if I can.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
discount for talking about it.
Yes. Well, you need to talk to him.
Okay,
but they are on Paradise Island. But it's really just awesome to see what they're doing, and they're excellent ambassadors as well for the country.
Yes.
Because here you have people seeking them out. I even met the owner of the team that gentleman plays for. I met the owner as well. It just incredible service and just awesome what they do, and that our foreigners love it. Our visitors rather love it, and they come and they just get the service, and then they obviously bring, especially in this instance, they are star athletes to receive treatment as well.
I just got my MR results earlier today from the doctor, so Mr. Thomas, I'll come and
get
check you out.
He has. Listen, the kinds of equipment and treatment he has is not common even in the United States, and so again, that's why he is sought after, and he knows what he's doing, quite meticulous. And so I was very happy to meet that. Rugby is huge in the Commonwealth, and obviously in the United Kingdom and Europe, and so it was good to meet that gentleman.
But just before, we find that a lot of the young entrepreneurs and businessmen and people in the Bahamas, they're really going out to find new innovative technologies, things to bring back and offer. I mean, there's a lot of things out there, and our young people are going out and taking advantage.
They are, and it's really good. Keep up the great work. Would you call it medical health tourism, sports tourism, wellness tourism, all of it, all of that is just the same thing. Awesome. Listen, I thank you all so much for tuning in, but don't go anywhere, because Michael and Leslie are determining who's going to get my ticket for Best of the Best tomorrow.
I don't think Leslie said he ain't taking you, so you got to go with me. You
got a hard day to make. Hey, eyes, something got to happen.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry commercial vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you'll need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by the Legends of Rake and Scrape, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Alive. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Listen, if you aren't ready, because you know KB is full of energy, puts on an incredible show, then you all saw what that whole lineup looks like, right? That's going to happen tomorrow evening. And so welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We are going to get right into this and speak with KB, who is headlining the Legends of Rake and Scrape concert that happens on Marshall Road tomorrow evening. KB, hello to you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you. You sat through the entire thing.
Oh, man.
Now let's talk. But we're strictly talking Rake and Scrape.
Straight, none of that stuff.
Yes, no. Let's leave that alone. But this is really awesome, KB. But you have really become an ambassador for culture, an ambassador for Bahamian music, and to keep it alive, and then also to stay with the times in that while you maintain what is Bahamian Rake and Scrape music, yes, you've still moved to the point that you are still appealing to a new audience. How are you managing to hold on to what certainly identifies us, but then make it appealing for a newer audience?
You know, I can't say there's a magic formula for that. I just try to, you know what? Maybe it's looking around and seeing what's going on in the world, seeing what's going on at home, and you try to write to what you see. And you write, because one of the things you have to do is study sociology to a certain extent, study how people move and how we carry ourselves. So basically, maybe that's what it is. I'm just observing what's going on around us. So I'm hoping, I'm glad that the kids know the Boatman song, because that's what the kids know. They don't know she fought anymore. They don't know that stuff.
But that also is getting a lot of play.
Yes, but songs like Heaven Knows is being resurging now. Bush Mechanic is resurging. These songs now, we've been doing these Best of the Best shows, and now to the Legends. These songs are now catching on again, and you have young artists coming into the fore, and a lot of things are going on. It's a good time for Bahamian music culture and for Rake and Scrape.
It is, especially that authentic Bahamian music.
Yes, I'm glad you like the authentic.
Thank you very much. It's ruling.
And there's a misconception with the word. Like when you'll hear like what they do at Cat Island, at the Rake and Scrape Festival. Mm-hmm. That would be called traditional Rake and Scrape. Oh. Traditional meaning that's with the accordion, the drum,
the
saw.
This Rake and Scrape that you all do is a bit more studio, more polished.
But you would call it more contemporary Rake and Scrape.
Okay.
Different traditional meaning that's where it started.
Yes.
Ours is contemporary, meaning that we brought it to the masses of pop music. Yeah. So it's almost like pop music.
Yes, it is.
It'd be like blues back in there to bring in something.
It also has a very polished studio sound to it.
Yes, so that's why you say it's more contemporary.
Yeah.
Because just like blues, you'll hear like old blues with the guy with his get up, don't. That you'll hear someone like one of those other artists like a Michael Jackson.
Yes.
There's still blues, It's still rock and roll, but it's just polished because it went to the studio. So that's the difference in which you would say traditional Rake and Scrape versus contemporary Rake and Scrape.
I love that you gave a history of where it started. We all know Cat Island is synonymous for the beginnings of Rake and Scrape, and they still do it. Whenever you see the festivals and anything that Cat Island has, they are there with the saw and whatever else, and those artists are performing. But let's just talk.
I just want to preface one thing you just said just now. The first time I went to Cat Island and I saw Cat Island Rake and Scrape, it was like spirits was flying through there. When I say that, I mean, the vibe was so, I can't explain it, but I could feel this around me from that point on.
I have an idea of what you mean.
From that point on, I was captured.
Yeah, you could feel those who kind of paid their dues to ensure that it is what even
and you had groups like, remember Bahamas was big with the Junkanoo at the time, the Junkanoo with all that, but when Phil came out with the Rake and Phil brought the Rake and Scrape back, Phil Stubbs. And when I went there, I remember I got captured. So guys like myself, Ira Storr, D-Mac, Colin McDonald, we started to then pivot to Rake and Scrape. We moved away from the junking, because we still do junking, but we pivot over to rake and scrape, and that's where you see us now because we understand that for some reason rake and scrape captures the essence and the root of us.
It tells our
It
story.
captures, yeah,
it
it's
tells
the
our
root.
story. And let's
Yes.
just talk about this lineup because it's amazing. First of all, are you very happy, impressed, and inspired and encouraged to see the list of wonderful artists who are all popular in their own right
Yes, of
today that's expanding under the umbrella of Rake and Scrape?
Yes, of course. And what you see there with the legends.
And all the sounds are different, yet they're all just beautiful
Yes.
and unique. Because look at that, for example. I mean, it is so amazing to see these various. Hold on, Bishop Roll is Rake and Scrape?
Rake and Scrape, these Cat Island. That's Rake and Scrape.
That's Rake and Scrape.
Rake and
original.
Scrape. I'm
Yes.
saying, so when people think of the bishop, that he is actually the essence, he's one of the essence of Rake and Scrape. He knows, when you see him dancing there, he knows what he's doing. So I mean, I respect him so much for his Rake and Scrape.
I have not seen the gentleman with the hat on the corner, on
Which
the
one is
left.
that?
On
That's
the left.
BJ. He's the one who sings the Sailor Man song. Which one?
The one here.
Ancient Man.
Yes, I haven't seen him for a while. And so
Yes.
here it is, these
Yes.
huge names who are just telling Bahamian stories. And then we know what DMAC has done.
Yes.
And so again, all of the variations of Rake and Scrape, they're showing up, not very far from the original.
Yes.
But yet it's just awesome that, again, like I said, it is appealing to young Bahamians, to persons who fell in love with it years ago.
Rewrote and opened the, like you'll have one time ago, people would just write about sun, sand, and sea and about the hotel kind, more for tourists. Now you have subject matters that actually speak to us to maybe relationships,
Yes.
to this, to the poor, to the have and the have-nots, to all those things that are our society. So that's important that we speak to us. And even like that's why maybe Boatman triggered people so much because we are basically a fishing village.
Yes.
We are those people, we are essences of the sea. And I think that's why the song probably moved people.
And what's also awesome is that you've advanced. You've moved it along in that it's not the comedy show anymore.
No.
Before Bahamian music or Rake and Scrape was just something funny that you're singing
Yes.
about. No, it's actually telling real stories
That's it.
with things that people can identify with and hold on to.
Yes. It speaks to us. And I think when we look in the mirror and you say, hey, I know what they're saying. Just like the Loose Me, like with Nishi Ellis, you can relate, hey, we all were locked down. Hey, loose me, let me get out there and get. And so a lot of those things are truly, they speak to us as a Bahamian people. And when I say all those songs which you're hearing when you see those artists, that you see on the screen, all of them are legends. That mean they are hit song makers.
They are.
They all hit. So when you come to that show,
I don't know how you pull all of them together because everyone there is a hit maker.
Yes.
Just as you said. I mean, they are superstars in their own right. And it's good that you've brought them together as legends, rightly called them that.
Not only let's Turnquest before you think I taking his credit. Les Turnquest of Keep the Vibe Alive music group. He put this show together because Les is one of those guys who, he told me months ago, he's like, hey, we're going to do this show next. I said, I love that idea. I think Legends of Rake is a great idea. It's a great name. And it inspires the younger Rake and Scrape artists, the younger musicians to want to achieve and get to that level because it comes through hard work and dedication. Yeah. And I'm glad he's done it.
Yeah, it's good to see. Obviously, Emily is going to be there.
Oh, yes.
If you all can put that up again, because there's somebody else I wanted to highlight a minute ago and say, listen, it's Funky D. He's still performing.
Yeah, Funky, people don't know Funky D is at the Breezes he's every week, every night. Listen, let me tell you something. Funky D is, like, I've never seen Funky go under, from 1 to 100, I've never seen Funky under 93. I'm saying every single night he's 93. Like as an entertainer, sometimes you drop into your 50s, you go, it's like you will come here and something, hey, I'm not feeling Funky 93. I don't get one person in the room and he entertains. So you go in the Caribbean, Funky, I get Funky top 5. I'm talking about entertainers in the Caribbean.
Wow.
Funky. So when
that energy he brings.
come on. And he's an entertainer of entertainment. He comes from the old school. He knows what to do. He knows how. We grew up in clubs, nightclubs, knowing how to bring songs across, knowing how to entertain people. So this is things what the younger artists should be looking at and trying to say, you know what? I need to mold myself behind. I can see take a piece of us, like how I'll take a piece of Ronnie, or I take a piece of Tony McKay, or any one of the Eddie Minnis. Like when I listen to Eddie Minnis from back in the day, when he would write those things like Mike and remember those back then. Oh, yeah. So you would listen with these guys, and that helped with my writing. It helped me to learn more, study these guys more. So I think that's important what we do. Man.
Now, how have you managed to pull together this superstar cast for tomorrow evening, that you all will be hitting that stage, doing your own thing, and giving such an amazing show that isn't very regular nowadays in terms of like seeing all of them together.
You know, it's not hard to do. You know, all you need is once the cash there, they'll be there. That's a joke. But what I'm saying, that truthfully, I think when you see it, like how Boatman has moved the way it's moved, it moves other artists to want more.
Yeah.
Like you'll have, again, D-Marcus out there doing his thing. You'll have, like, you have these younger artists now coming. You have Iris Store. So we look at all of them, Iris Store there. You got Emily. Everyone's, you're Simeon out and, again, representing for the
I like how you all even brought gospel in.
Yes, that's why the Bishop and Simeon Houghton is there.
You marry gospel into this as well.
My cousin is the dark side of the Houghton. He's my cousin. That's because
yes.
So everyone knows Gino. You mentioned Gino there. Stevie S is back there. You see Larry from the Brylanders. Stevie S is there. In fact, Stevie, I met Stevie yesterday. He's at rehearsals yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
Listen, it's going to be an awesome show down at the farm.
You all put
Marshall
together
Road.
awesome shows where it's safe, it's secured. You can just come and truly enjoy Bahamian music, and there's that rich, beautiful sound when it strikes up.
Oh, and there's some of the guys
awesome.
in the background. You have the engineer, like guys like Terrence and the lighting guys. Everyone, because again, those guys make it just like here in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's those guys that make you look beautiful the way you do, because you're there, but you put that. They put the cherry on top.
They don't speak too loudly for them, because they'll just get to their head, But no, it's a team. It's a team.
It's a team effort.
It's a team effort,
and that's why I want to thank you. And so thank you all very much, man. I appreciate this. And
but I want to ask you, KB, how important is it to keep this history alive, to keep this Bahamian music that you all have done, and even though you've modernized it, you've still kept it organic and authentic. How important is that?
That's extremely important. That's why when I speak to the younger artists, and I tell them, listen, this is what Rake and Scrape is. Rake and Scrape isn't just, see, most people in any music, Rake and Scrape is a formula. Just like hip hop would be a formula, rap is reggae is a formula, soca is a formula, pop music, all these things are formulas. This isn't just a haphazard thing you throw together. It has a formula, and Rake and Scrape has it, and you follow the formula, you will get to where we get to, because you then say, okay, this is Rake and Scrape, we know what it is. You ain't trying to do some reggae song and then you call the reggae song Rake and Scrape or clock. No, it isn't that. Mm-hmm. It is actually a formula that we all follow behind. It's a template. And I had to learn the template from guys like Tony McKay, like Phil, like Iris Store, like D-Mac. This is what we do.
You all have perfected it.
Yeah,
you've modernized it, but it is a distinct sound.
Yes.
And it's fantastic. And if you in the audience, you know when I love it best? When I used to host independent shows on Clifford Park, and when the band, whichever band it was for that year, would strike up the music, it was just stunning. Absolutely amazing. You all continue to do a great job. And KB, you continue to move with the times, yet also maintain what is Bahamian and what is beautiful in the storytelling and the sound and all that.
We are beautiful people, and it's easy to write on us. It's easy to even to laugh. When we laugh at ourselves,
of course, yes.
Like you have a song like "Stroke Man" that speaks to who we are and what we do as a people, and that sweetheart inside of us, or this whatever. You show light to it. You ain't trying to big it up. What you're trying to do is just show, maybe, hey, stop that. Maybe that's what you do with it. I believe you need to stop it.
Yeah, you do. Meanwhile, I can see what Michael and Leslie saying, because I can need one of them to take me out to this concert tomorrow night. But by the way, I'm trying. Give the information, KB, of where.
Which camera am I going to?
Right here.
One.
Right
I'm
here.
at one.
Right
I'm at
here.
one.
Yes.
So listen, I'm going to say, don't forget, gates open at 6. Show starts promptly. Last turn request time 8 p.m. You can get your tickets. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you can go to the Beauty Shack, Mazzari, or Bucky Brand. Other than that, the parking is going to be off the chain. We're going to have, if you park at Anatole Rogers, you can get, buses are going to be running. They said either 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You can get back and forth. They're going to have VIP parking. There's not going to be any trouble. The place, the last time, the Boatman show was crazy. It was off the chain. It was awesome. This one is going to, I think, even be even bigger and better. So
it is.
It's going to be awesome. I thank the Bahamian public very much for supporting the culture for all these years. Not only me, everyone. So I want to thank you, Shanique, and the station. Thank you all very, very much, man.
Of course, yeah, man.
And like I said, Legends of Rake and Scrape, come down and support them. Every song is a hit. Come for you, put your dancing shoes on, come have a good time.
Every song is a hit.
We'll make our mind who Leslie's going to take. Leslie's going to take tonight. Or tomorrow night, sorry.
They ain't coming out of the studio until they tell me which one taking me. That's all I'm trying to say. By the way, KB, just allow me this. Just hearing from North Andros and Berry Islands Member of Parliament Leonardo Lightbourne. He says he is assisting the family along with many others in Andros at the moment. He says the fire truck is still not working and wildfires are ongoing in Andros right now as we speak. Right now, wildfires. So that was quite scary for them last year. He was on the ground, I do remember that, and obviously, again, they're all concerned about the wildfires that are going on. Thank you very much, Leonardo Lightbourne.
Well, I'm in Grand Bahamas, so.
We saw what happened recently, yes, absolutely, yeah. KB, I thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I love sitting with you ahead of these concerts and stuff, and really, really awesome. Again, the Legends of Rake and Scrape, that happens tomorrow evening. You all know exactly where, down on Marshall Road. Security, everything tight. Just come, get ready to dance. Let's have a good time. Thank you again. Thank you to Leslie Miller and Michael Turnquest. And I want to thank all of you this evening for tuning in and for hanging out all week long. I look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a blessed weekend, everyone.
The Verizon Media Group, home of ILTV, Paramount Systems Limited, Eyewitness News, and